Hello everyone and welcome back to Retro Direction. This is Michael and welcome to yet another video review in a very short space of time. Well, why not? I mean, now that I've learned how to upload quality videos that look very good to IGTV/Instagram for you all to enjoy, I might as well upload a few more. Now, I'm going to have to revert to the old cell phone method if I take, for example, footage off my Sega Saturn or the original Xbox or PS2 because I don't yet have a video capture card. But as long as I can record something from the PS4 or PS5, be it retro or current gen, why not? Anyway, the brand new game that was released yesterday in question has, it contains 3 slightly old titles, but very quality ones. It's called Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, and you know how I love the Ninja Gaiden franchise. Now, just like my previous video of Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, this review is aimed primarily at the newcomers among you. So, if you've not dipped your toe into the Ninja Gaiden ocean, I hope that this video review entices you and helps you decide whether or not you'd like to try them. Now, a little bit of history for the uninitiated. You know that the original Ninja Gaidens came out on the NES, but we're going to stick to the 3D versions, I think, for this review. The original one came out on the original old Xbox, and it was a benchmark in terms of hack and slash games. Because it had quality visuals, fantastic massive bosses, a very good storyline, and some brilliant visceral combat, which was rather punishing but fair at the same time. So it wasn't sort of frustrating and tedious for the sake of it, and it wasn't designed to annoy the player. It punishes silly mistakes, but it rewards, your efforts into learning all the moves and using them correctly. And it's very fun to play. Believe it or not, it's very, very fun to play. It's fantastic. And you can button mash to a certain degree, but not too much, because you really do have to know your moves in order to tackle certain enemies and bosses. Now, I'm reviewing the sequel, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, for the main reason that the gameplay is very, very responsive. The graphics have been polished up compared to the original Ninja Gaiden 2 that came out on the Xbox 360. And I'm going to explain to you a few differences between this game and the original. First of all, Ninja Gaiden 2, simply entitled, was released first on the Xbox 360. It was a very good game indeed, just like the one before it, but much improved in terms of visuals and gameplay. You had more moves, you had more weapons to use. And the other thing, it was extremely gory because it was rated 18. So you had absolutely copious amounts of blood. I mean, when you dismembered your enemy ninjas and monsters and demons, you had absolutely gallons of it gushing forth. It was just so messy. In the Sigma version, we've had a lot of improvements, and one change in particular that wasn't very favourable with a lot of fans, myself included, when I first read about it before I actually played the game. All those years ago I read that it was going to be released to PS3, and I thought, I don't like this removal here of the gore. As you can see by this enemy I've just dismembered, the actual copious amounts of blood are actually replaced by this very elegant purple mist. You do still get a bit of gore. I mean, it's not completely absent. You get blood spatters here, which while you're slicing your enemies, that's what you get. But, it's just quite a bit less messy. Now, I love anything uncensored. I have to enjoy that, and that mainly applies to movies. I don't like cut movies. I have to see the original. And it's the same with games. But when I played this one, the amount of improvements that the game has outweigh just the one slight gripe of having the toned down gore. So basically, no more copious amounts of blood. Instead, you get this very elegant purple mist, but you still get dismemberments because they are part and parcel of the Ninja Gaiden franchise. You can't have a Ninja Gaiden game with no dismemberments, so they are present and correct. So you still dismember enemies, but you don't get arms and legs and heads scattered around the place. You see their torsos, devoid of the limbs that you've severed, but they vanish after a while just to keep the frame rate up. That's mainly applies to the PS3 version. And that's it really, but then we get to the improvements. Now, first of all, for those of you that remember, for the veterans among you, you know that in the original Ninja Gaiden 2 on the 360, there was a particular area and there was a particular boss that was removed. The area was also taken out and replaced with something more elegant and nicer looking. The boss was taken out completely. He was that cave worm, and he's a pain in the arse. A lot of fans didn't like that, and they were very thankful that he was taken out, and myself included. And so that was one improvement. The rather bland and nondescript areas were just taken out completely. That boss was removed. Other improvements, you have a few enemies added, you have some new areas added, and not only that, in the original one you could only play as Ryu. In the Sigma version you can play as Ryu mainly because he's the protagonist, but you can also play as Rachel the Fiend Hunter, you can play as Ayane, the lightning fast female ninja, and you can also play as Momiji, who has she wields this very long sort of bladed scythe-like weapon. And so basically you get a lot more bang for your buck. Compared to the original's 15 or 16 chapters, you get 19 here. And minus all the annoying bits, the actual gameplay has been tightened up a lot, really. So it's pretty good. I think so, anyway. You still get to fight very impressive bosses. And you also get to visit some fantastic locations, including Venice, where I used to live and work. And it's not geographically accurate in every way, but you can tell that it's Venice. And very attractive it is too. And when you play as Ayane, the young warrior ladies have one level each, and Ayane's level takes place in Venice at night. The rest I won't spoil for you. Now, for the veterans, if you don't want to dig out your PS3s, the gameplay is as fantastic as you remember it. Obviously, if you haven't played them for a long time and you want to revisit them, you'll notice that Ninja Gaiden, the original one, hasn't aged as well as these as these last two, the Sigma 2 and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. A quick mention about the improvement on the third one. Now, when Ninja Gaiden 3 first came out, I bought it, I played it, I enjoyed it. It's the weaker of the bunch. A lot of fans will tell you that, and I agree, but it's still bloody good. Now, the thing with the third one, for some reason they removed the dismemberments. There were none, but there was tons of blood. So you think, where's all that blood coming from? You've not severed any limbs. So basically, they reissued it under a new title, Razor's Edge. Now, the other thing that was removed from the original Ninja Gaiden 3 was a very disturbing cutscene, which depicted Ryu being an old sod. And in fact, when he kills this human who begs for his life and says, "No, I've got family, kids," Ryu proceeds to kill him. And the guy's last words are, "You're not human." Now, that sort of threw me a little bit, because I thought, hang on a minute, that's not Ryu. What's he on? Is that his evil twin brother? So that particular cutscene was removed, and we had basically a good Ryu, because Ryu is a good guy who kills bad guys and who slays demons. So Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge was touched up. That cutscene removed. We had more weapons introduced, because when you play that game the first time, the normal third version, all you get is the sword and the scythe. With the sequel you get the staff, you get the kusarigama, the sickle on a chain, and basically that's it. You get a few more weapons and brilliant gameplay. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed, and yeah, take care, and I hope you enjoy the game.